Andrew Monson, and he has this beautiful thing about writing. He says that he loves writing because life is moving so fast, and writing, in particular writing an essay, is an interruption, and it stops life for a minute. So you can slow down and think deeply about something, whatever your professor asks you to write about. Now, I asked my seniors just 2 weeks ago about what they do when they have free time. And so many of them said, I hate free time. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so stressed out if I have free time. I always listen to podcasts. They don't want to be alone with their thoughts. Part of the reason is they haven't been trained how to synthesize or make meaning out of their experiences. So thinking of writing as a gift to yourself and to other people will sustain you all through your college career. As you're like, well, why am I writing? What is writing doing to me? Well, it's good for your brain. You're synthesizing data. You're producing this beautiful kind of work for your classes and for your professors. So those are kind of the 4 things I care about most of the college writing. But as I look through your questions and talk to Ms. McGinty about like the common pitfalls of what I see happening to college students and kind of the things that make writing go bad for them or make writing fall apart, I thought I would share that. But when is my time up for the...
You still have 15 minutes till lunch.
Okay, are you ready? This is where I'm going to sound so preachy and so much like a mom, but I have to tell you, and I'm going to back it up with research. Okay, college freshmen come in, and I know that everyone's told you this before, but my freshmen come in, they look well-groomed, well-rested, they're so happy, they're smart, they all have, great grades like you all do, they're so excited about being at Penn State. And sure enough, within the next few weeks, it just goes downhill. Why? What are they doing? What do you think I'm going to say? What can you guess these freshmen are doing that's making them become terrible students? You know what I'm going to say. Yes, they are drinking way too much. They are not managing their alcohol consumption. So I tell students on the first day, that very first tailgate, I'm like, look, I'm going to give you a list of 50 things you can do this weekend that don't involve drinking. And sure enough, students will come to my office with a notepad. They'll be like, hey, I just started dating my girlfriend. We don't know what to do besides get drunk. What do you and your husband do for fun? This true story. And like taking notes. I was like, well, we play tennis, we cook together. He's like, and I was like, you can go to the thrift store, buy a cute outfit. I don't know. I was like, anything. It's incredible to me what happens. Now, there's a lot of fun to be had at Penn State or wherever you go, Arizona. I highly recommend for you right now to decide what kind of adult you're going to be. And first of all, it's illegal for you to drink until you're 21. But even after that, to manage alcohol consumption, and here's the research, the Harvard Grant study, which is the longest study ever conducted of adult behavior, 75-year study, you can go read the book. They were trying to ask the question, what are the single most determining factors for a happy and meaningful adult life? Don't you all want to read that book right now? I was like, tell me, what is the secret? One of the things they found in this huge research study was the quality of your relationships is a huge contributing factor to your happiness. Guess what the number 1 contributing factor is to a miserable and unfulfilled adult life? Use of alcohol. Use of alcohol. So I'm not even saying this as like, a mom or whatever, or trying to be preachy. I'm saying this as someone who stands in front of a class and sees freshmen not able to recover from their weekend. And by Wednesday, they're like, I'm sick, I haven't slept in 3 days, I'm still hungover. I don't know what to tell you other than when you arrive at Penn State, I highly recommend you treating your day as a job, as a professional job. Do any of you know the average workday in the United States, what it should be? Average workday. 8 hours. Now, I'm going to tell you something that Penn State says on their website. For every hour of class at Penn State and other colleges, they want you to do at least 2 hours of study and preparation time for that class. So someone who's good at math, tell me, if you have a day that starts at 10 and you have 4 classes, how long will your workday be? You have 4 classes and 2 hours of work per class, so what is that? 8 hours, it's just like a workday. Now, if you start your day at 10 or 11, that's fine. You can go into the evening and still have a great time, but the most successful college students treat it like a workday. When you're done with your 8 hours, fine, go watch 1 million episodes of Gilmore Girls on Netflix, which is what my students are doing right now, or what they did do. But a lot of them also, not just alcohol use, but in terms of time management, they don't see college as that kind of professional job, and they do things like, watch 12 hours of Netflix or get involved in gaming or whatever. But I will tell you this, once you put those hours in, and you'll have light weeks and not so, weeks that are really heavy because maybe you have research papers or exams. But the most successful students put in those hours, and then Penn State has like 840 clubs you can get involved in, which I just cannot believe. Calligraphy, who knew? Quidditch, Harry Potter. I mean, seriously, you can do it. You can do a tea ceremony. Did you ever do the tea ceremonies that they do? You were involved in so many things. Ms. McGinty was awesome on campus. Okay, so time management. And I tell my students that, and hopefully your professor will tell that. Okay, here's my other best tip. This is going to change your life. This tip, this single tip will change your life forever, and I don't know why no one told me this as a freshman. Okay, are you ready? Go visit your professors in their office hours. Okay, it's going to be really awkward, so I'm going to tell you what to say. You're going to walk in, you're going to be so embarrassed, it's weird. You're going to be there with this professor who's like whatever, you're a professor in economics or engineering or biobehavioral health, whatever. You're going to say this, but let's pretend it's Dr. McGinty. Hi, Dr. McGinty. My name is Calvin. I'm in your Bio 101 class. I just wanted to introduce myself. I wanted to thank you for teaching this class. Here are some things I'm interested in. I want to know about your research interests. Basically, you're asking your professor, you're becoming involved in what they care about, and you're sharing with them what you care about. Why is this going to serve you well? First of all, dialoguing with these experts in their field when they have open office hours. They will sit there with their coffee, welcome you into their office. You want to get to know them as freshmen, not just for advising, but guess what you're going to need when you're a junior or senior? You're going to need recommendations for grad school and your professional life. And I can't tell you, I wrote 2 today. Not only have these students come to my office hours, but I've had students come by my house in Park Forest or dialogue on email, and I've had decades relationships with students talking about their writing, talking about their professional life. Go and visit your professor. Also, there may be a psychological component, like they're more likely to give you a better grade. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that's true, Mrs. McGinty? I don't know. When
I think it
students
shows
are
that you have
there,
a better attitude,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
and then attitude plays a role in how you participate in
yes,
class.
participation.
And especially at a university like Penn State where everything's anonymous,
Yes.
going to visit your professor makes a huge difference.
Yes, and you'll love it, and then it's fun. Then you go to class, you're like, oh, we talked, we had this. The other advice about that is, so many of you asked, what's the main thing that professors are looking for in a paper? One of the things you can do in office hours, especially if you get that first, maybe not good grade, say you get a C or a D, which happens because you're like, wait, I thought I did everything right. The other reason to go see your professor is to make sure you understand the skill set that they're testing. When say they assign you your first paper and you have no idea what the professor's grading on, and say she doesn't show you necessarily her grading rubric, you can ask her. Just say, I'm really interested in what you're evaluating on, to kind of match that skill set. Now the other thing is, a lot of this information, most of the college classes are all online, and you'll have syllabus, you'll have the whole semester's worth of work, you can look for, how the professor's grading, what they're looking for. But that kind of tip about, you don't have to just sit alone in your dorm room not knowing what to do with your time. You can visit your professors, you can get really involved in your classes, and start asking all those questions, even if you're like, you will be assigned an advisor, but the great thing about students coming to office hours is they ask all sorts of great questions, like, I am a kinesiology major, maybe I want to teach English. Does that sound familiar? Some people, changing everything, I don't know. Okay, so